I watched this episode twice, and as time went on, I liked the episode more and more. Why? Is it because of a new mega that was Blitzgreymon? Is it because we had some ancient lore? No and no. It was a subtle build-up of the human that was Koshiro. We're going to talk about this in detail, but let's recap episode 36, Operation Satellite Sniper. Now, it starts off with the human world and the humans saying, oh no, they're hyping up the real impending doom and danger of the falling International Space Station, which is of course on course for Tokyo. Now, we see the Digidestined meet up with Izzy and they come across a Digimon fossil, and they say how these two Digimon, ancient Digimon, battled it out to a draw, and then they release an insane amount of energy which looks like a giant and a really massive pillar of light, and at the top of that pillar of light is a singularity. Essentially what that is an intersection between the digital world and the network world. And why is that important? The network world will allow them to then snipe, according to Izzy's plan, snipe the ISS data in the network world so it changes trajectory and saves Tokyo. Honestly, that's quite a solid plan, and I'm going to tell you later why this is so well done, because it builds on pre-established notions that they've pretty much laid out and alluded to from the beginning of Digimon, so it's great to see. Furthermore, I loved how they referenced previous scenes from the series. They referenced the Omnimon fight in the network world which stopped the missiles, and Tai even said, but he can't remember what happened. I loved that. I loved how they're mentioning that Tai couldn't remember. I loved how they're mentioning and giving credence to the event of Omnimon vs Algomon. However, the fossils made very little sense. When Digimon die, they burst into data. Unless the two ancient Digimon attacked each other and coated each other in some material or some type of impenetrable stone, then maybe that could explain the fossils, but that means the ancient Digimon should be alive within the fossil exterior. So after the fossil exterior is broken, they should be intact if they didn't burst into Digimon digital data, and if they did burst into digital data, it's encapsulated within that shell, so they're able to regain their form after the fossil is broken. Look, sorry, it's just the scientist in me just can't ignore that. Gatomon states that not all battles are between light and dark, between good or evil, and it could be about pride, which explains this battle between the two ancient Digimon. We also know that Digimon battle each other to get XP points to help them along their evolution. Again, I love the subtle line to further add complexity to Digimon, to the Digimon ecosystem. It's really well done. The Digidestined and Digimon fly towards the top of the pillar of light. Now, why do they show Greymon's evolution sequence and then metalgreymons evolution sequence? It's a waste of time. It should have just been how the other Digimon evolved and it was handled. They just shout the name, orb light, boom, that's where we have it. But they are just, it felt like a bit of a waste of time, and I just don't like it. I don't like the way this is done over and over again. And again, why did Kabuterimon and Birdramon evolve so late into it when we already had metalgreymon out, and especially when they're flying type or where they excel in flying? It's a bit annoying, but it is what it is. I guess it's for the narrative, for a narrative effect. Now, we had Blitzgreymon and MetalifeKuwagomon as the main antagonists for this little episode. Now, MetalifeKuwagomon made an appearance on a video we did called The Best Metal Digimon, so please make sure to check that out. I am certain you're gonna like it, but it was nice to see these Kuwagomon, these bladed Kuwagomon appear, and they were very overpowered, but that's because they were feeding on the energy. Again, those little lines justified their strength and justified how and why things are playing out the way they are. And look, they're pretty much lightning proof, so it's a perfect feeding ground, and that was mentioned, and that's why I like these small little subtle dialogue. There was so much urgency throughout the episode, and it felt tense. Again, it always felt like a race against time. They keep mentioning the time, and it was 20 minutes to the top of the tower, well, 20 minutes before they need to snipe it, and for them to go to the top of the tower, it took pretty much 18 minutes. This urgency was really well done, and it added layers and layers to a story, to an episode that needed it, because this was the crescendo, this was the final chapter to kind of wrap up this ISS storyline, which has been dragging on in the background for so long. I liked how each Digidestined fell back in order to help the others and allow the others to go ahead without slowing them down, and that's again a nod to the time-sensitive nature of this mission. But why didn't we see Angemon? Was it too soon? Was it because Gatomon was still tired from the last battle? Why? I don't understand. Anyway, TK and Kari fell back to handle the Blitzgreymon. Sora fell back to then handle the Blitzgreymon. And then we have Tai. Due to the lightning, his Digivice was affected, and the Mega Evolution of metalgreymon did not give us Wargreymon, it gave us Blitzgreymon. And what an intro, what a showcase of different movesets. Look, this is so interesting. Does this mean that when they fight Millenniumon or anyone else, we know that Millenniumon has lightning and that black lightning might affect the others, or it might give an environment of a lightning storm. So are we more likely to see Blitzgreymon or perhaps even a dark mega counterpart? Honestly, I thought we might get Machinedramon for a moment with how the Digivice was short-circuiting for a bit. Anyway, regardless, the Blitzgreymon appearance was a big surprise, and Blitzgreymon looked amazing. He was a complete and utter badass, and with his moveset and him showcasing the different moves, he was literally squashing the Blitzgreymon, and he destroyed MetalifeKuwagomon with ease. Now Tai, you'd think, okay, this is all about Blitzgreymon and this was to showcase Blitzgreymon. No, it wasn't a showcase of Blitzgreymon at all. Tai shouts, he prompts Izzy to go ahead. Izzy hesitates, but Tai insists as the leader. He said, go, I'll leave the rest to you. And Izzy gets the courage from Tai and he goes on ahead. And with Mega Kabuterimon, they shoot a hornbuster to save the day. But there was more to it. We had the silhouette of Hercules Kabuterimon, so that attack had an extra oomph to it, and they saved the day. And you'd think, okay, everything's all well and good, but let's talk about Izzy because there was so much happening. We saw how Izzy was the centerpiece in this episode. He's always been this background reliable character. Again, this was to further the ISS storyline, but this time around it was a weird one. He was somewhat of the background, but then he came to the forefront. He was encouraged to come to the forefront. They foreshadowed his loneliness with the visuals in the beginning, and we also saw how he said that he always thought he was happy alone until he met everyone else. It was an emotional and believable monologue which would justify him unlocking a mega, but they didn't go that route. It was quite interesting that they only showed the silhouette. Now, do I like that? Do I want that? I don't know, because it tells me that maybe we might have a major Izzy moment in the near future to justify this mega. We might have a Izzy-centric episode. I don't know. Izzy said throughout that he's going to give support, but during the climb, each of the Digidestined gave their support to Izzy to move forward. The final push, of course, was from Tai. Now, Blitzgreymon's appearance was great, but it didn't overshadow Izzy's journey. Blitzgreymon felt like an enigma. There was an explanation to the evolution where he was adapting to the environment, but it was vague enough to make it feel very mysterious. Now listen, guys, this is to you guys. Will we see Blitzgreymon again? Will we see another adapted mega evolution for either Agumon, Greymon, or maybe even the other Digimon? Which one do you think? Honestly, I can't wrap my head around it because it was a very bold move by Digimon 2020. You are starting to surprise me more and more. We saw the silhouette of Hercules Kabuterimon. Again, I do reckon that it's going to be a foreshadow for another moment where Izzy earns. He already earned it, but he, like how Tai had the silhouette of Wargreymon, there's going to be one more moment to cement for Hercules Kabuterimon to come to the fray. Now, it was a very fast-paced, high-stakes and action-packed episode, as it should be, because it was the resolution for the human ISS falling space station storyline. Normally, I hate these action-packed episodes one after another where it felt overwhelming, but this was perfect. It was a perfect blend, and it just made sense. It was a very good episode, but not just how it was action-packed. The way it kind of gave us subtle hints with lore, with the character dynamics, and also, of course, with action. It was a great blend. It was a great episode, but it makes Matt, Joe, and Mimi feel useless. Honestly, just write them off. Nobody cares. At this stage right now, the Digidestined team feels packed with Kari, TK, Izzy, Tai, and Sora. Do we need anyone else? They have built this 5 so well, especially in the last couple of episodes, that we've kind of forgotten about the others. And I fear that the interest for the other Digidestined is just not going to be there. No one's going to care because I don't care about the others anymore. more. Is it just me? I hope they change it. I hope they write them in such a way where they have great moments, but I just don't care. But let's see what happens. Guys, this has been Dimsy's Domain giving you a review for the latest Digimon 2020 series. It would be great for you to subscribe, increase the Digidestin count on our channel, and make sure to check out the best metal Digimon on the channel. Take care, enjoy, bye bye.